Welcome to another group discussion. I think you're going to enjoy this one. This is a little controversial. We are talking about exposure of magic on YouTube. Today we have Paul Regan, who is a regular on the channel. You don't need any introductions from him. But we have Shyam Joshi, who you might have seen in the video a few videos ago with the Magicians versus Magician competition, and eventually I will be interviewing Shyam on this channel, so you'll see a lot more about Shyam. But let's go straight into this topic, because I had a lot of questions from you asking about this topic, about what do I think of exposure and magic, and I didn't want to just give my points, so we have two sides of the story, you could say. Paul is against the cause.
I'm arguing for exposure.
For exposure. And Shyam is arguing against exposure. So let's start by talking about Shyam, why do you think exposure of magic on YouTube is bad?
Okay, see, now I see two sides of this. Exposing magic, and there's two different platforms now. Exposing magic is the credit, the hard work somebody else has put into creating an effect. People actually don't really see the hard side of creating an illusion.
Okay.
Now, if I was to make up a trick, it would take weeks and weeks and weeks of just coming up with a concept and then putting that concept into, making it practical, seeing how it would work and making it all the ways possible, all the hard work and graft behind it. People don't see that. The moment you expose that, the value of it just drops.
So you're saying the creator is not getting enough of credit for creating that magic?
Again, it's credit based, and it's based on, people are creating illusions. Now, if I was to do a corporate event or a wedding reception party and I have somebody say, I know how that's done, every single second, look, hecklers are awesome, I love hecklers. I have no issue with hecklers. But if it's somebody saying, oh, I watched this video on YouTube, I watched this video, I'm trying to do a job.
Yeah.
If I'm paid to do something, I want to give a service to a customer, and I don't want to be annoyed. I don't want to be, look, I can't do my job. Now, when you keep getting, not kids, even adults saying, look, I know how that's done, I know, working Asian events, it's very common.
Yeah.
People, and it destroys an art. It's an art. Magic is an art, and a lot of hard work goes into it.
Okay. Well, you put a lot of points there. I'll let Paul respond to that.
Okay. Cool. So first off, if magic's an art, then art should be provocative, art should be many different things. And as that's the case, then we can outright say exposure is wrong. It's an art form, therefore there are many different ways of creating art. And if we're going to say you can't do this, then you're closing off an avenue of art. And also, if you're a magician and all your tricks are on YouTube, you're not a great magician. You're the magician who's gone around and spent lots of money at Prop Dog or Saturn or Penguin, and you bought awesome gimmicks, or you bought the most stylish trick. These are things you look up on YouTube, and if that's your act, then you need to up your game. You need to be doing, when I say you, I don't mean Shyam, I've seen Shyam. This isn't...
By the way, both these performers are really good. Now, the reason is I asked them, so obviously we're all members of the Magic Circle, the prestigious Magic Circle here in London, and one of the rules is no exposure, so you know where this whole thing is going down anyways. But I think having a group discussion like this, but not a group...
Another way of it...
So those are my 2 points.
Yeah, no,
I'll do more. I want you to jump in.
Again, the worst form of exposure. Look, exposing magic. People are gonna, we had the masked magician exposing illusions. Thousands. I mean, these are thousands of pounds worth of illusions. Like, you're not talking about a couple of £100. You're talking about 5, 6, 10, 15, 20,000 pounds worth of illusions. Okay, nobody's gonna recreate them. No average Joe is going to go out there and try and build a sewing the lady in half illusion. It's very hard.
But do you think that if people have seen these illusions, would they still not be entertained with the... I mean, maybe you got a point there.
Growing up, I watched a lot of illusions. Now you don't see many illusion shows. You had the Illusionist just recently and things like that, but you don't see it as often. My generation.
Well, the David Copperfield specials. I'm a bit older than you, and that's what I remember. Every year, David Copperfield up to about 2000 was hammering them out.
My generation, my people my age, like 26, 27.
Start with David Blaine.
Yeah, they more into street. Yeah. They have no idea about stage illusions.
Okay.
They don't see this stuff. They have no idea about this stuff. And again, now to try and grab that audience into liking illusion, now if you're going to constantly reveal them, why would they pay 50, 60, 100 pounds or 20 pounds even to go watch a magician if they're like, oh, I know how that is?
I mean, I think when Master Illusionist originally said his reason, it was to get magicians to do more, think bigger. And I think it's interesting. So you've got some illusions that have been around for a very long time, and if magicians are still performing that, and an illusion's been around for 100 years, as though it's, wow, isn't this amazing? It's like, well, actually, why on earth should I pay £50 a ticket for a trick that's been around for 100 years? All you've done is buy that trick. So in that case, what is wrong with exposing those things? If we're saying that, you know, people aren't going to do it, well, why should we expect them to pay something that I put no real work into other than the dressing and the moving around it?
Because illusion isn't just doing a trick and that's it. There's a showmanship to it. You know, when you put together an illusion show, you're not just paying for, okay, let me cut this person, put that.
No.
But there's all this drama.
Okay, great. But then if we're saying that the illusion, if the performance is what matters about the illusion, then why does knowing how it's done affect that? I'm at Blackpool in a couple weeks to film, and we're looking forward to the gala shows. Now, when I watch a gala show, especially illusion stuff, I know how most of it's done. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy it.
But they still love it.
Or unless it's a bad performance, in which case, boo.
Think about it this way: we've all exposed a little bit of magic to somebody. You know, like, oh, this is how it's done. Let's be honest.
Well, my father's a great example. He's seen me do magic really badly until it gets good. He's going to learn how it's done. You can't help that. I'm exposing someone who's probably now got a hobbyist level of magic simply from watching me.
Okay, now when it comes to exposure, there's a lot of different types of exposure. There are certain, I would say, wonderful channels like Chris Ramsey and Alex Pandrea, Alex Boyer. These are friends of mine who teach magic. And I think they teach magic the right way. But I think when it comes to videos like The Richest and stuff, where they expose BGT things, where they say
that's something that is very frustrating. It's frustrating watching somebody, you know, just to get a 10-minute slot or 5-minute slot, because I've just come off a tour. And illusions and magic I've done. Now, if I was to go home and say how Shyam Joshi or SJ Magic did all of it, I put a good months of effort into that. Now you're just gonna go and just put it out there on the internet. How I did my my gumball machine trick, or how I did my rope trick. You know, why would people wanna? You know, when you let me explain it like this. Like, I have a good mate of mine who has now joined my tour. He has every time he's been out watching my magic, he's just like, and now he's starting to see how things are done. I have, you know, he's part of my team now. He's like, is that it? Oh, yeah, I know. It's kind of it. The whole, this value, it just disappears. That's why I don't like exposure. Now, there's new types of exposure which I hate, is the tricks that people go, guys, watch, boom, and they do a magic trick, but the person who they're doing it to can exactly see how it's done. Yeah, and that is frustrating.
So you're talking about Instagram magicians doing quick Instagram tricks, and
I think it's more when the I'm in massive quotes, the audience, from the angle they're at or whatever, are aware of the method. I would see that more as
fake reaction.
That is, but I would see that. I mean, I wouldn't say as exposure. I see it more as using a stooge.
Yeah, but that is, it's still you, the viewer, are watching it. You're the
exactly.
So as
I wouldn't class that the same as
person.
I wouldn't class that the same as
how
exposure.
It's done.
I wouldn't class that same.
But not necessarily the viewer would see that, because the viewer is still getting fooled. Now we as magicians, we can know that.
I could put it this way. I'm a new guy. Let's say I'm a new guy into magic. I have no idea. I spend a little bit of money. My dad's got quite a bit of money. I'm a young kid. Buy some tricks. Good visual effects. Go to you. Can you act? Can you just be freaked out? Watch this. And you're like, and you do all this react.
But would that be exposure?
No. It's not exposure. Now, you're a non-magician. You had no idea how this trick was done. Now, to get a click on the view, to get the views and everything, I've had to expose that to you, so you react a certain way.
That's no different than the cameraman on a magic show being told to film at this angle. That cameraman's not a magician, but he's making the illusion stronger for the person viewing it, and that's the audience. Do I like that kind of magic? Well, it creates false expectation, because what's happening is when you watch these tricks and you're seeing an amazing reaction from somebody who can actually see what's happening, or has just been told, go crazy, it creates a false expectation with you. But do I think it's
not the right way of getting a reaction?
Well, it's a way. It's not a way I would employ, but it's a way some people employ. But exposure is very different. I think we are talking about exposure. So another argument I think for exposure is I do think that interestingly, it fuels an interest in magic. It does. People, people become more interested and they start learning more about magic. So.
Yeah.
So is that a bad thing? People being interested in magic, people coming to shows.
My entire channel is about trying to inspire more people to get into magic, and also you know that. Also, I'm not against. It's like this channel is not about here's how this person did this trick on BGTS. You know, for me it's mainly for magicians. But then again, how would you get into magic if you didn't see it in the first place?
Me being a 10-year-old when I started magic, I wasn't exposed to a magic trick. Okay. I was exposed to what a magic trick reaction.
Okay.
You know, me being jaw-dropped. Like that's what got me. Okay. Now, how I see it is magic finds you. You don't find magic. Everyone, everyone has a reason for what they do. A craftsman, a carpenter is destined to be a carpenter. A magician is destined. There needs to be something about you. That could trigger that magic. Not everyone likes magic. They love watching it, but not everyone likes doing magic. Okay. It's not for everyone.
But there's a lot. So okay, he's got a good point. So these are people who don't care about magic. They don't want to do magic.
So hang on a second. I'm going to be really quite kind of now we're going from exposure is bad, which I thought we were arguing to kind of. Well, there are some people who are doing blah and blah and blah. Now, if we're going to say that of course it's going to become much harder to argue against. In the same way that some magicians are just bad, some exposure is just going to be bad. So just some music is just it's bad. Okay. So I'm quite happy to say that in general, you know, it's just.
Again, Paul's got a really hard job here because I called him up and I said, look, I'm going to do a video today about exposing magic, and I thought, would you be able to argue against this? And you know, you can get some valid points, but again, we are all members of the Magic Circle.
So I'm completely different. Personally, I don't agree with exposure. I just don't.
Yeah.
But I do. There are completely arguments. So I had a really good conversation when I was in the UK with Teller from Ben and Teller. Now they're not allowed to join the Magic Circle because of exposure. Now, are we going to argue that those two aren't giants of magic? That those two haven't done amazing things for magic? They haven't inspired people to become magicians? Of course they have. Yeah. Of course they have. That's just a fact. But they have exposed, and they've done more than that simple exposure that I would.
And I just want to say
one
more thing. This channel would have been a teaching channel if I could. Now, again, I respect the Magic Circle and I don't want to be kicked out of the Magic Circle. And that's why my channel is not about teaching. But I do want to teach people the right way. And that's why I do tutorials, which is sort of in the line of exposure. But for me, I think, like I said earlier, there's certain channels out there where you can learn wonderful performance tips and advice. And not only, obviously, they expose magic, but me and Paul are going to do something in the future where it's not really exposing, because people are genuinely people that want to learn magic. They're going to come to us. We're going to do classes. But any last notes before we end up?
Again, if it's exposing for like, let's try to keep the art going. Look, people will find a way to become a magician if they really wanted to. Look, there's people attacking exposure. It's like an attack on magic. When some certain styles of exposure is like an attack on magic. It's like. Like Chris Ramsey and people like that, they're doing it to be inspirational. You know, excuse me. Hands down, Chris Ramsey. I've watched videos. I watch stuff. Again, see, people like that are inspiring. They're not trying to destroy the art. There's people out there trying to destroy the art, trying to make magicians look like as if our art is nothing.
So for me, I think that magic is a creative art form, and as creative, to say you can't do X could be very bad. I also think that I'm a bit of a freedom of speech kind of guy. To simply say you shouldn't say or do X if no one's being hurt is also quite questionable, you know. So just on that kind of blunt, basic level, I think it becomes very hard to completely say exposure is wrong no matter what. Just on those kind of
That's a good way of putting it. Good way of
I hope you enjoyed this group discussion. This discussion between two magicians, and we give you 2 points of the story. But I think the internet is here for a reason, and people are gonna see how things are done, and there's no way you can stop someone doing this thing. So I think the only advice I could give you, the person who's watching this and think, you know what, next time I'm going to see a magician at a wedding, I'm going to destroy his act. I'm going to say, you've got something in your pocket, or you've got something in your hand, or whatever, you're palming something. My advice to you is please don't do that, because think about it this way. If you were performing, would you like someone to do that to you? Now, there are ways to handle these things, but I would say, why don't you get into magic? Because my whole thing is about inspiring people. Get into magic and start performing, and I'd be happy for more people actually loving and respecting the art of magic. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in 2 days. Bye-bye. I want to show you this thing. Watch this. Look what he's doing. Is that straight?
It will be.
But we don't judge like that, Brendan. It's not.
Record and that's it. We have a record.
See, it's showing us in the background. You want that maybe tilted a little towards you?
Yeah.
A little towards you?
Oh,
A little more, a little more, a little more, a little more.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Good.
This
is great. Okay, excellent.
Oh, wicked.
How we doing? Let's do this. Okay. Why don't you come a little closer, Paul, so I can see you? Otherwise, I gotta turn around like this.
Come on.
He's practically on me now. We're gonna clap.
Let me get my coffee. I need the coffee.
The hair's so floofy today. It's got a cut.
Oh, you just got a cut. Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, me too. Me too. I just got my hair cut today.
Yeah,
lines.
it's not so much cut. It's kind of like weed whacked.
All right, let's get these crocodiles out. Let's distract
Let's
people.
get the gators out.
If they're not already distracted with the video, let's try and put some bling in their face. Sorry to cut you off. I think your camera's.
Jeopard.
Forget it.
I can delete the card.
No, just leave it.
Okay.
Just leave it.
Need the coffee.